Hey, have you ever wondered how you can disagree with your boss without getting into trouble? Then you need to stick around and watch this video. Hi, my name is Oyinka Kimade. If you haven't met me before, I'm a workplace coach and speaker, and I help individuals improve their confidence. I teach them what to do, and I have a course for you. If you're interested, I'll leave the link down in the description below. I help people communicate effectively and form connections that would help them enjoy their professional lives. In today's video, I'm going to talk about 6 ways or 6 things you need to do to disagree with your boss without getting into trouble. And I'll get right into it. The first thing you have to do is to choose the right venue and choose the right time. It's not always appropriate to disagree with your boss, and it won't always be in the right venue to disagree with your boss. In fact, when you want to disagree with your boss, you have to consider the atmosphere or the environment in which you're in. Is it the right time to tell your boss that he or she is wrong? You don't want to make your boss feel horrible. You don't want to question the authority your boss has. So if you want to disagree with him, make sure you select the right time and you select the right venue. It's okay to wait a little bit and go meet him or go meet her in their private offices. It's okay to wait a little bit to also express this disagreement. So if you're in a meeting with your coworkers and you disagree with something your boss says or something your boss has suggested, and you kind of express it, but you see that he or she is taking it the wrong way, or he or she is being defensive, don't keep going. Just hold off and reapproach it at a later time in a more convenient venue. This has happened to me several times, and I have been able, on some occasions, not all occasions, change the mind of my boss because I waited for the right time and the right venue to express my disagreements. And this leads me into the second tip. When you're expressing your disagreement or when you're expressing a contrary opinion, always include an alternative. So don't just come out and say, oh, that wouldn't work. I don't agree with that work. I don't agree we do this, without offering a suggestion on what should be done. If you have no suggestions on another method or another way or another solution, what are you disagreeing about it for? So if you have to disagree with your boss, try as much as you can to offer an alternative suggestion that would make sense to your boss. And that brings me to the third thing. When you are disagreeing with your boss, always express your disagreement in a way that makes sense and will be beneficial to your boss. What do I mean? Let me give you an example. There was a time my boss wanted me to go for a course. And this was because it had been mandated company-wide that every employee from a certain level had to attend certain courses. So she chose one for each one of us, but I didn't like the one she chose for me. And while we were in the meeting and she was expressing or she was telling each person what they should do, I objected to what she said. And when I objected to what she said, she was like, no, everyone has to go and you're going for what I told you, for the course I chose for you. I realized that that wouldn't be a good venue or a good time to disagree. So I let it go for that meeting. So from what she told me, she had mentioned that it was mandated company that we go for certain courses. So what I did was to go back to research the other courses I could go for and the benefit it will be for me and for the department and for my boss if I went for the alternative course. So later on that day, or maybe the next day, I went to her office and I said, listen, I have found out that there are 1 or 2 other courses that I think would be of greater benefit if I attended those courses. And here is why. And I explained the rationale why those other courses will be better for me to attend than the one she chose for me. And because I was able to express it in the way that made sense to her and in the way that demonstrated the benefit, she obliged me and allowed me to choose my course. Because you wouldn't always get what you want, but at least give it your best shot to get what you want and to disagree in a way that will not make you lose favor or make you be a bad person before your boss. The next thing is to think like your boss. And what do I mean by that? Sometimes when you want to express something that you disagree with, you really want to know, is there any other way? Is there any other way? In the example I gave, there was a company-wide order, or there was a company-wide directive that every member or every employee above a certain level must go for a certain training. My boss had no choice but to make sure we went for those trainings. So if I were to say I didn't like that training and I didn't want to go for that training, it wouldn't have been possible for my boss to agree with me on that in that regard. So think like your boss. When you think like your boss, it gives you the idea of how to best approach your boss to disagree with them without being disagreeable, without making them lose respect or questioning their authority when you go meet them. The last thing is to develop a good relationship. Listen, it is common sense. When you have a good relationship with anyone, boss or coworker, it is easy to disagree with them without getting into trouble. Because when you disagree with someone that you have a good relationship with, they're not going to question your motive. They're not going to wonder what you're trying to do. They're not going to think that you're trying to undercut them or you're trying to undermine their authority. They will genuinely see that you have the best interest at heart and you're just expressing a genuine disagreement with them. So having a good relationship is a must if you know you're going to disagree with your boss or with anybody without getting into trouble. So if you're watching me right now and you're wondering what's the point of having a workplace relationship, you just want to go in and go out, I would say that there are many benefits, and one of which is being able to disagree with your boss without getting into trouble. So let me know in the comment below any strategies that you use when you want to disagree with your boss without getting into trouble. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.